What's going on, YouTube? This is your boy Omega 500, and as you can see, we're fucking up right now because it is nighttime outside, and we're watching a scary one today. It's called 5 Videos That Will Make You Afraid to Stay Home Alone. This is by Top 5 Unknowns. I've watched him a few years ago. Like, he makes good content. I'm glad I'm starting to watch him again because he's been making some good shit that I haven't heard of. And alright, let's begin. Let go.
Every day across the world, people experience robberies and home invasions of different kinds.
Okay,
In
that's
some
the
lucky
camera.
cases, the event is caught on camera thanks to security systems and nanny cams. Often, this kind of footage gets uploaded online by news outlets to serve as a warning to homeowners in the area. These clips are shocking and are sure to make you double-check the locks on your front door this evening.
Okay. Okay.
Number 5. Having a security system inside of your home is a convenient measure for most homeowners. Many systems include a feature that will allow the user access to camera footage while they're away, via their cell phone or tablet. This Fremont, California homeowner took advantage of that feature one night, in August of 2016, when he watched a group of men break into his home. Several robberies and break-ins had occurred in the area before this case, and police had already warned the public to stay vigilant and take extra steps needed to remain safe. The footage provided shows 5 men sneaking into the Fremont man's home late one night while he was away. The men entered through an unlocked back door and carefully filled the home, covering themselves.
So what you're telling me is this dude didn't lock the door? Okay. That's one one problem you got. I mean, you know, it reminds me of this video that I saw where this dude forgot to lock the back door, and he was with his friend sleeping over and shit, and like, he forgot to lock the back door, and then the dude came in, then they ran to the woods and shit, and then later they called the police when they got back in. So
investigating the scene to confirm that no one was home. Officers later said that the methods used by the robbers resembled police-like tactics, meaning this was not the first time that they'd done this. The men were heavily armed and apparently hoped someone was home for reasons unknown. The homeowner received an alert from his security system, which detected motion when the home was supposed to be empty. He watched in horror as the men snuck and began sifting through his valuables, searching desperately for cash or jewelry. Thinking quickly, the homeowner began recording the footage he was watching live to later be used in an investigation. He then called police while still viewing the video feed. Officers arrived to the scene, but unfortunately were too late. The intruders had gotten away with some electronic items, and in a previous break-in just a few weeks earlier, the same suspects broke into a home and got over $150,000 worth of sellable goods. While in this case they did manage to steal from the homeowner, he was lucky that they didn't get away with more. Furthermore, the video he provided to police was helpful in the investigation and as material to warn the public of the thieving gang. Number 4. While you may think of home invasions as something that just happens in the dark or at night, or at least while residents are away, a home invasion can occur at any given moment, and many people find themselves stunned, not knowing what to do. It appears that that was the case for this homeowner in Tucson, Arizona. In broad daylight in October of 2012, 2 large men approached the homeowner via his back gate. The intruders first offered to do yard work for the homeowner, but quickly changed their plans. This video was captured on the surveillance system set up at the home. It shows the homeowner, shirtless and comfortable, casually reporting to his back gate. The suspects approach, and after a few seconds, one man wrestles the homeowner into a chokehold. Both suspects then pull out weapons which they use to beat the man into submission. 2 family members that were inside the home come out to investigate after they heard yelling, but before they even fully step outside, the second suspect rushes them, weapon in hand, and forces them back into the home. The suspects, still holding the homeowner in a tight hold, enter the home with the family to complete their task by stealing various items, all while threatening that if the family called police, they'll come back to cause harm. A few moments afterward, the first 2 suspects enter the home, a third man rushes to the scene and busts inside. This man was allegedly working with the other two, and surveillance footage thankfully captured each suspect's face clearly. The footage was later saved and shared with local police, and officers used that footage and were able to successfully arrest one man involved, though it's unclear if the other two were ever apprehended. Number 3. The footage from this home invasion was actually uploaded online shortly after it was recorded. Then, the content went viral, making the rounds on social media. The footage was captured in the Brooklyn home of an elderly couple and their daughter. While having a calm day at home and watching TV together, the family is suddenly put into a situation that most would consider their worst fear. The first suspect claimed to be a postal worker and a cop, and used these lies as a way to enter the family's home. Shortly after this suspect gained access inside, the suspect rushed in and went to work tying the family up, leaving them helpless. It's unclear if the suspects were armed, but police say that they likely had weapons of some sort. While the family sat in the living room, the intruders searched the house for any valuables. At one point, when both men were in another room, the daughter hopped up to the outside of their living room, likely in an attempt to get help. However, shortly after getting out of the room, she heard the two men returning and quickly jumped back to her seat. The suspects managed to collect over $100,000 in cash and jewelry before fleeing the scene. According to investigators, a third suspect was waiting outside in a vehicle as a getaway driver. Information on that vehicle, though, couldn't be found. The thieves left the family tied up, and when contacted by the daughter, had to help them untie their restraints. This video, which is surprisingly high quality, shows the events that played out that day, beginning shortly after the first suspect made their way inside. The video was quickly uploaded online by the family's son, who wasn't home at the time, in an attempt to gain attention and possibly identify the intruders. Sadly, the footage didn't provide a clear view of either suspect's face and wasn't helpful for law enforcement. Number 2. A surveillance system can be a valuable investment for not only homeowners but residents in general. Some security systems come with signs and stickers warning potential intruders of the cameras. Oftentimes, these warnings can deter criminals from making that home a target, fearful of the possible consequences. If they go forward regardless, a security system still offers help by recording the event, likely helping to later identify the suspect and featuring an emergency passcode you can quickly type into the system, which will immediately call law enforcement. In the case of this homeowner, her system included 16 separate cameras covering the property and the interior of the home, meaning that when her home was broken into on April of 2015, the intruder was recorded every step of the way. This footage, which is later sent into local news broadcast, shows the suspect approaching the property around 3 a.m. one night. The suspect walks around the house and peeps into the windows, likely trying to confirm that Heidi was asleep. Due to the rustling sounds near her window, she woke up, and her immediate instinct was to check security footage on her phone, where an app provided a live feed of every camera. The intruder, still outside, continued to search for a way in, as she watched. She called 911 and remained as silent as possible. While she waited for officers to arrive, she kept an eye on the footage. The suspect found the sliding glass door on the back porch and popped the lock to enter the home. The homeowner continued to watch as the stranger entered her home and casually searched for items to steal. The woman's alarm began blaring out, but the suspect didn't seem to care as he casually strolled from room to room inside of the home. After making another 911 call, the homeowner informed the operator that the suspect was just a few feet from her room. The suspect made his way into the master bedroom and busted through the locked door. Heidi jumped out of her closet where she was hiding to force the door against him as she warned him that police were on their way. After that, the suspect quickly fled the scene. Officers arrived 15 minutes after the original 911 call and were unable to capture the intruder. However, this footage was shared all over social media and on various news stations, calling for anyone with information to come forward. Number 1. This video shows a South Florida couple enjoying a relaxing evening at home when two intruders entered through an unlocked front door. The male resident was napping on a large couch while the female was sitting on a love seat. As soon as the suspects rushed into the home, the woman stands and runs, causing one man to chase her. The male resident wakes up a few seconds later as the other suspect points a weapon at him.
Bro, does this guy not know that he has a gun? Like, you trying to fight him off with, like, shorts or clothes and shit? Like, bro, don't do nothing. You're gonna get your ass killed. Jesus Christ.
Intruders were armed and prepared to fight, and the male stands up and walks toward the door, likely trying to escape or get help. However, the suspect forced him back down and the two began a wrestling match, with the suspect having the upper hand. In a nearly 10-minute long video, the struggle continues, with the home being raided for valuables and cash. The homeowners watch in horror, almost helplessly. The suspects then engage in yet another physical altercation with the man as they struggle to open the front door and flee. Finally, they bust the door open and run off, leaving the homeowners in shock.
Well, it was pretty interesting. Like, you know, I thought it was going to be like, I knew it was going to be some, like, invasion shit. I was thinking also more of, like, creepy shit, like paranormal things, you know? Because, like, that's, like, ghosts and shit, like, that's, like, it's also fucked up, too. But, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell, and it's your boy Omega 500 signing out.